voice girl, and welcome to another edition of the Manspace Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, he is this show's top gun, the one and only Maverick, my co-host, Big Les. How you doing, man?
What up, man? You all right?
I'm good, Les, and you?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to, man. So it's hot outside. I almost didn't make it today.
Shoot, man, I know, man.
I almost melted away like old hot chocolate. You know what I mean?
This heat, man, it's getting you, man. Shoot, I'm sitting out there trying to cut grass and got sunburned again.
I was just getting ready to say, I just can't see it, dog. I can't see it. I don't know how does it keep happening to you?
You know, I got one of those big hats and everything, man. I'm out there cutting grass, and I wasn't even out there that long, man.
Man, you might have to ask your wife, man, to allow you to spend $40, bro.
I know, man. I need somebody else propelled.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly it.
So we're going to jump right into the rest of the show. Les and I have been very fortunate to interview many guests throughout our almost 2 years on the air, and today we have another special guest. He's a multifaceted man from Queens, New York. He's a podcast host, a radio show host, blogger, consultant, promoter, producer, gamer, web designer, project manager. And if that isn't enough, Manspace Nation, you have heard us mention on this show, you can also hear us on SGP Radio and the BGP app. Now you get to hear the man behind SGP Radio. Manspace Nation, give it up for Gerald Roberts.
Hey, what's up, Gerald? How's it going, man?
How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, wow. What a very full-throated endorsement. Very full. This is the first time I'm actually seeing both of you, right? My God, I had no idea how light you were.
Holding it down for Team Light Skin, me and Will Smith. That's right. We slapping people everywhere.
Come on, you got sunburned. Come on, not even get sunburned. Come on, you get sunburned.
See, I'm living testimony. It's happened to me twice now. Each of the last 2 years, I ended up with sunburn. And you see, I'm sitting here with SPF 50 right now.
That's all them cookies and donuts you be eating that's burning your back up. That's what that is.
No, it's called Welcome to the Deep South.
But it's 92 degrees out. How hot is it where you guys are?
It got up to 98 degrees here today.
Yeah, and tomorrow's supposed to get a little bit warmer.
It's the same. That's crazy.
Joe, so with all your titles here, man, that's like you from the West Indies, bro? You Jamaican? What's going on, bro? You work a lot.
Guyanese. Guyana.
Guyanese, okay. All right. I knew it.
That listen, flag in the background
is my joke on the show.
My homeboy's flag. He's Jamaican, not me. Cannon Corey, shout out to him, DJ Creed.
Okay. All right. So on the show, man, we got this ongoing joke. We say all the time, it's not going to be a good show unless we talk about food. Right? So I got a question for you. Have you ever had a fluffernutter?
I don't know what that is. I don't know if I have before. There's a different name for it. I don't know.
That a fluffernutter is a sandwich made with chunky peanut butter and marshmallow fluff.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Well,
it's absolutely
delicious. I see. He's like, oh, that sounds kind of delicious.
The bread sandwich. I mean, I had s'mores before. That sounds very.
Yeah, man. I had Les strung out on those for a while, man.
He had me for a minute. Yeah, I had to let it go. The name kept throwing me off.
Fluffernutter. So, Gerald, there was a lot that was said in your bio. But I guess the main term I can use to kind of encapsulate it all is multimedia. So with you doing journalism, radio, podcasting, the multimedia aspect, what attracted you into this field?
I guess what I'm doing, so it really all started when I was like in high school, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do after high school, really. I had a friend named Brandon. He's like one of the original founders of like our company, BGP, Brandon Jar Productions. That was my homeboy, right? We talk about wrestling together, right? I thought, yo, let's have like, why don't we do like a podcast like the Brian and Vinny show, or like Dave Meltzer does, because like we're so opinionated on this topic, right? And like, and this teenage me, right, have like the mindset of like, no, let's make a YouTube channel, right? And let's do this podcast, and like, try to see if we get famous doing this or like get money doing this, right? So that was like the primal stage of it, right? And then so like we're doing it on and off, right, for a while, and then after high school we go our separate ways, kind of. So not really like, in touch no more. So it's kind of like on the shelf for a while. So like what I do now, right? I have like my app full of like content from SGP Radio and my original content as well. It's like a platform for like all that I do to display and showcase my writing, my content. Also, I'm right now trying to integrate like e-commerce on it. So like like my business interests or like my products that I sponsor, I try to like post them on it as well. Shout out to Charms Creations LLC. She does like cupcakes and stuff like that. So shout out to her. If you listen to this, I'll talk sometime, but whatever. I love you. But anyway, rewind back in time, right? So like I graduated high school, right? And I'm going to college. And to tell you the truth, right? Like there's many a day where like I get up and I'm like I feel slumped. I feel tired. I feel sick. I don't know why I come here. I don't even know how I got through school, to be honest with you. I pretty much it's a combination of me just getting through it and my teacher's feeling bad for me. Like I'm going here and spending all this money and to come here, and I'm going here and I have to like travel through Manhattan, I travel through Brooklyn, I see all this commerce, I see all this activity in business, and like I want like a piece of that, you know what I'm saying?
It's
and,
that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. And I would never say don't go to school. I would never say that. Kids, stay in school, right? But like don't go if you think you're going just because your parents are gonna get mad at you, or like you feel you have to or whatever. Like go because you want to, because you know what you want to do. That's when you should go to school, because otherwise it's a waste of time and a waste of money, right? I got my degree in business administration, and a lot of people are gonna say, well, that's not really like a marketable degree. Like what job can you get with that? It's not really like a career like nursing or whatever career. It's more of like a skill set, really. So and it's funny too. Somebody like a long time ago told me that that's the type of degree you get when you don't really know what you want to do. Which is kind of true. So I mean, not even mad at the person. I'm just pretty much spinning my wheels for the time being, and then I'm going to school, and I'm also going to church. So that's like really what I'm doing most of my time, really. And so I think this is like I think this was like the turning point, because I was pretty much just spinning my wheels, and then one day, my mom calls me, right, give me a phone call, and she was like, the bishop at the church wants to have a meeting with you. I was like,
yeah, that sounds familiar. That's how this show started.
And I'm thinking, why would he want to have... The last time I was even at the church back then, right, was like a week ago when like they had the Christmas service, and we walked out of there because I love my bishop, but sometimes he gets kind of like extra, like he gets over inspired by the word, by the Holy Ghost, right? That, and we had to like go rush home because Christmas, all that stuff, right? People's coming to that crib and stuff in the oven and all that stuff. So a combination of those two reasons. I'm thinking, is she gonna ask me why we walked out during service? Because he's like by then he was like 2 years into the church. He was like the new pastor, the new senior pastor for the building, for the church. And like I never really had a conversation with him. I mean, like I said what's up to him one time, and then like one guy introduced me to him and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, hello sir, my name's Gerald. Like, oh, hello sir, I like that. And I mean, we see each other, we say what's up, we grin, we smile, whatever, dap, all that stuff. But I never really had I never really had like a interaction with him. I came to his office, right, and we're just talking, right, and like in hindsight, I'm thinking he was just sizing me up, just like figure out, just like make sure. Just to test my character, right? So we're talking. He's telling me how every student has a teacher that changed their life and gives them a perspective on life. And his teacher name was Gerald Hideki, like my first name. And he pretty much told me we should get more involved in the church. So I figured my skill set would be best served, in the audio visual. So I'm working there, right? And I'm doing the soundboard. I'm doing the video production, right? And again, like I had so many, and I'm gonna lie, just being in that room with all this equipment, all this technology, and like all this content, right? It kind of inspired me, right? Like we're still shooting with cameras from the 70s, and we're still doing DVDs. Like, I mean, aren't they obsolete? This is like 2012. Isn't like obsolete by now? Like we streaming. That's the way. That's the progressive. That's the logical. The most logical progression is streaming, so that's what we should do. Like, not only streaming, but like we should archive them and have like a website or like a source, like an app, right? Again, an app we can archive this stuff. So that's in a remote way, in a parallel way. That's kind of like the genesis, like my app. You know what I'm saying that's like one of the things that inspired me, right? So okay, you know what? Let me do my own thing.
Even with all of that stuff, how do you find time to do it all, though? You know what I mean? How do you find time to do all these things that you do?
It's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, okay, it helps to like have a notebook, right? And like just schedule yourself.
How did you make the transition from BGP Productions to SGP Radio?
Fast forward, I meet this girl. Like we start going out, start dating, and I actually proposed to her too, stuff like that. And like we were like gonna get married and all that stuff. I must have been 21, 22 at the time. And then, like one day in like 2017, she pretty much just goes ghost.
Ooh,
and I'm not gonna get too much into.
Sorry
things.
To hear that, man.
Yeah, she pretty much she pretty much just went ghost, right? And long story short, right? Because again, I'm not trying to.
That's a dude move right there, going ghost, man.
Well, she did hit it, and I guess she did quit it. Well, and then she showed up one day, and she was pregnant. And I'm not gonna lie, like that, a part of me, yeah, she came one day. She came one day to the church, and she was like visibly pregnant, and I don't know what happened, and right now I really don't care and to know what happened. But I'm not gonna lie, so like that kind of like that broke my heart, and it put me in like a depression kind of. So like that girl, right? She was like one of the founders. Like she's like her signature is like on the document of BGP. She's like one of the original founders of the company. Yeah, like her name's on the the article incorporation. Yeah, so that's like one of the things, because like again like I had this rose colored lens of how things are gonna be, right? We was gonna like build this company together, right? And like just have like 3 kids and all this cute stuff, right? And like to see unravel in such an insequential way, just mind trippy, and like I'm not gonna lie, like I was like in kind of a depression. So like so I'm at the house and like waiting to start my new job, right? And like and by this time, right, my partner Brandon, right, like he was doing his own thing. Like we're still cool, we're still friends, right? But like we're still boys, right? But it's just we were like on different pages in different directions. We wanted different things, right? And so like again, like no animosity whatsoever, right? He said, all right, cool. So he left, so I was only one left. Only one left as only member of the business left, right? And like again, so like I'm going to work and I'm just coming home, and I meet this girl. Shout to Serafina. That's where I met for the first time. Like my new partner, right? My current partner. And in lots of ways, she kind of saved the company because she gave me all these ideas, and she thought it was so cool I was doing all of this, how like ambitious I was, and like she encouraged me to like she thought what I was doing was so cool, right? And she didn't want me to stop. I gotta tell you, man, this girl, man, it's like I don't even know how to like advocate it. I'll try my best. It's like she gave me. It's like so like just hanging out with her, right? And like just like hearing her gas me and like just it's like she's giving me that much more resolve to like want to try again and like not just coast on my abilities that I had in the past, but like learn more things and like grow in it. And like yeah, she just encouraged me to continue to just keep building and learning and growing, and perhaps even one day I could also heal, right? And so I put back on the platform, and not only that, right? Not only did she like give me like a new resolve, but she always gave me like a confidence boost.
Yeah, man, that's real cool, man. Awesome story. We have a segment that we like to do on this show with our guests called Lightning Round. And this is an opportunity for the Manspace Nation to get to know Gerald Roberts. So you have 60 seconds to answer some random questions. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
What is your favorite city besides the one you live in right now? See, you thinking about it.
Because that's my favorite city.
You can't choose that one besides the one.
I live in Queens. I live in Queens. That's different.
All right. So you saying you want to go to Okauhee, Florida?
Hollywood.
Okay, Hollywood. All right, we'll give you that one. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Dirty dog or pizza pie?
Pizza pie.
Talk or text?
Talk.
All right. What was your first job?
At the school. I was a school aide.
Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
English.
English. All right.
Second place would be history.
All right. Favorite wrestler of all time?
I don't know. Randy Orton.
Randy Warren. All right. All right. Where did you go on your last vacation?
I think it was Guyana. Mexico. I lied. Mexico.
Which of the 7 dwarfs would describe you?
I don't even know the 7 dwarfs.
You know,
is there a happy one? Is there a busy one?
There's a happy. There's a happy. All right, you got dogs or cats?
I mean, neither, but I guess cats.
All right, NBA Finals, Warriors or Celtics?
I mean, I don't really watch the NBA. I guess Warriors. Because the reason why, because like I did not when I was a kid, my dad would have like ESPN in the background, right? In the morning, I'm going to school, and like, I would see like the crawlers and like the list, like who beat who, right? And so like I would imagine the mascot of the team, right? Like, I wonder how like a leprechaun, like the Celtics, right? The Celtics.
The Celtics, yeah.
How would a leprechaun fare up against a Chicago Bull?
I don't know. The leprechauns are magically delicious.
been a guest on your show a couple times to discuss wrestling, so we wanted to bring you on the show to do just that. Now, every now and then in the scripted world of wrestling, there are certain things that translate over into real life. And see, a couple weeks ago, for those that don't know, World Wrestling Entertainment, or known as the WWE, faced just that with two of their female stars, Sasha Banks and Naomi, reportedly became upset with their role on the show and chose to walk out during a national live broadcast. Now, this has resulted in them being suspended without pay. Now, what are your thoughts on the walkout?
I mean, being somebody who can relate, me and Sarah always say that we're not made for 9 to 5s. Like, it's September, right? This year. It'll be the first time I held a job for like more than a few months. It'll be a full year. And that's the longest I've ever held a job since I was, 16. My first job I had from 2010, September 2010 to like June of 2012, because I worked at the school for 2 years, 2.5 years. Other than that, right, every job I've had, I've always, crapped out after like a few months. And every one of those jobs I walked out, I quit, what I'm saying? Like, I could kind of relate. And especially knowing, well, not knowing, but like, presumably what WWE is asking to do, it seems to me, I mean, I'm all for Sasha and Naomi quitting because they thought that something didn't make sense or didn't want to do something. And I feel that despite how unprofessional you may look, or people might say or do, I feel especially in WWE more than any other arena, you have to like put your foot down and like have that mentality that they had back in the day when wrestling was at its best. I'm talking about Shawn Michaels, talking about Diesel, I'm talking about Ric Flair and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Razor Ramon and damn near everybody else from that time, right? Who would give Vince the ultimatum? Hey, listen, Vince, like, I'm not saying this or I'm not doing this. And change it or I'm no showing. Change it or I'm quitting, right? They would say that on like almost a regular, right? And to me, I seem that that's kind of lost on this generation. There's a funny story, right? In WCW, they had like a little dry erase board, right? Where they write down like the match card for the night, right? And it was Fit Finlay versus Ric Flair. And nobody liked working with Fit Finlay because he was too stiff and too snug, right? So Ric Flair saw that, took the eraser and erased that, something like that. So, I mean, they were saying how, I mean, from what I heard and what I read, right, the reason why Sasha and Naomi walked out, or better yet, Mercedes and Trinity, their real names, they walked out is because they were creative, gave them a pitch, says, hey, listen, you're gonna take part in this match tonight, and you're gonna one of you's gonna pin the other, but both of you are gonna somehow end up in singles title matches, right? And your belts won't be on the line for like 2 months or whatever, right? And people are gonna say, well, you were getting a title shot, you would be in the main event, you're so ungrateful. And I mean, if you feel that way, then you work for WWE, because like that's kind of mindset they want. You know what I'm saying? Because like I still remember WrestleMania 35, the one where she lost the tag belts with Bayley, and she had a breakdown backstage and left after that too, because like she wanted to like, because I feel like she wanted to elevate the belts, like make them meaningful. I think she was the inaugural champion, right? Yes,
she was.
She was the inaugural tag. Yeah, and so I could kind of share that mind state with her, saying like, all right, so if I'm gonna like be the inaugural version of this and also have my name attached, I want to be at a higher standard. You know what I'm saying, and yeah, I could kind of relate to that. And the same thing translates here. Like these belts kind of like don't really mean much, right? And then like they're a complete afterthought in the scenario. And not only that, right? You want me to work against Ronda Rousey and I think Doudrop and Nikki Ash, who are like who are dangerous. That's what they said, not me. Who are dangerous, right? And I don't feel comfortable working with them because they're dangerous. And keep in mind, right? I met Sasha Banks in real life, and we had a conversation for a good hour. She was telling me about her brother, how he had autism, and how she didn't go to school growing up because she stayed home taking care of her mom, taking care of her brother. And I was telling her about, how busy I am, stuff like that, and like how it is to be like, like not married and like have like an 8-year-old daughter, all that stuff. And like when I get home, I can't even like sleep. So yeah, we talked a lot. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like she told me a lot of stuff in that conversation we had. Based on what she told me, right? She was unhappy for a long time, even after she came back in 2019 and turned heel, right? She turned heel in 2019. She came back and turned heel with the blue hair. Mm-hmm. And she was still unhappy then. And for lack of a better word, I'm actually surprised it took her this long to walk out because she was like miserable, it seemed. And it's kind of like a callback, like shades of CM Punk, who like you wouldn't think seeing him on TV, but like he's like miserable, like he's in pain, he's sick, he's disgruntled. So you don't really know. It's a matter between separating the artist from the art, and it's so easy to take, and it's so easy to go against the evil empire of WWE, but I'm not. I'm going to because like substantial like evidence. What I'm saying, like again, like Sasha only told me this. She's not going out there on Twitter or whatever forum is saying, listen, WWE sucks and it sucks here and I'm going to quit, all this stuff. She's professional, stuff like that. And proof is in the pudding. Like WWE is the one going around saying, well, Sasha let us down, Sasha and Trinity let us down, and they're quitters and they quit.
One thing I need to add is that all of this is alleged. We don't know the real story, and we probably will never know. So it's all rumors at this point. Here's the thing about the world of pro wrestling. You are an actor. You're a stunt man, a stunt woman. You're provided a script and you have to live out the vision of somebody else. Yes, you have an idea of what you want your character to be and you're able to provide your input on what you think your character could be. But essentially, you're acting out somebody else's vision.
When you say it's his vision, you mean Vince?
Yes, Vince McMahon, the owner of WWE.
Well, two things about that, right? The first thing, right? They spoke with Vince, and Vince was kind of like, all right, you guys could switch it up, whatever. Talk to the writers and see what they can do about it. And they spoke to the writers, right? And they weren't trying to they weren't trying to budge or reason with them and stuff like that. It's like and again, like I've had the privilege of meeting people backstage, writers and producers. I mean, not producers, writing and production workers, stuff like that. In my lifetime, not in one day, stuff like that, right? And like they all say the same thing. The narratives are all consistent, right? Like the morale is just so toxic. Like everybody's just, it's like everybody like is just all like despondent and like depressed and like it's so weird backstage, because like the mentality, right, is like the mentality, and it's not me just saying this. This like me hearing them tell me this, right? The mentality is like it's like 20 writers, right? First of all, that's problem number one. It's only one writer, only 20. It's like 20 writers, right? And like the situation would be like, oh, I don't like that guy, or I don't know that person, so I'm not gonna write anything for them. And that kind of does, based on like what I read about the whole Sasha and Naomi thing, right? That sounds like what was going on back then, like because like they went to the writing team and they tried to like get them to change some stuff up with the program and with the storyline, right? And it was like just stop being difficult and just do this, please, and like no, like. And like I kind of again maybe it's like an element of bias, but like I'm kind of like on Team Sasha and Team Naomi on this one, like fighting against the evil empire, like the evil lazy writers who they're just coasting getting a check. So again I can also I can relate. Like I keep saying like I'm not a 9 to 5 type of guy. Like I'll quit like that. Like
you sign a contract for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. And see, most of these standard contracts have a clause in them that if you miss dates, say due to injury or something like that, they add time back onto the end of your contract. So, essentially, they could be stuck in their contract for however many extra days, months, years, until this issue is resolved, or the WWE just says, hey, now we're done with you, and they go ahead and release them. And one thing as an independent contractor, you can be released from your contract by a company for any reason without provocation.
You think it could be a work?
No, absolutely not. It's not a work. And those who don't...
You don't think that?
And for those that don't understand what that terminology is, that means storyline, scripted, a part of the show. So this is 100% real and not a work by any means.
Well, that's because they brought so much attention to it. That's the thing. That's why people, not me, but people are saying this could be a work. Even in their fictitious TV show, they brought attention to it.
I mean, there's really nothing to gain by doing this for either one of the women because these are two of the most popular women in the WWE. I think Sasha's social media numbers are probably second only to Ronda Rousey. I think her and Becky are right there with each other within a handful number. So Sasha Banks is probably like either number 2 or number 3 as far as social media followers. I mean, these women are very, very popular, and Naomi's numbers may be half of Sasha's, but even at half, that's still nothing to sneeze at.
So you don't think that's a double standard, and also you don't think they're being petty because days later on SmackDown they went back and rehashed it. Well, real quick, we just want to let you guys know that we're very disappointed in Sasha and Naomi. They're being unprofessional and they walked out from on SmackDown. Days later, they still at it. So
it's a little thing known as card subject to change.
Because God knows WWE never false advertises. Because God,
for whatever reason, they have the ability to change the card based on how they feel. It was different in this situation because they had to change the card that night in regards to the talent themselves and what in the actions of the talent. The show actually had already started when this walkout took place.
They walked off.
So it was very different than having somebody sitting in a chair and say, you know what, I don't like the way this is going. Let me just change it. And they do it a couple of hours beforehand so they have time to react. This time, the show was probably 15, 20 minutes in, and then all of a sudden,
Becky Lynch and
they've made the announcement
Pierce,
that this match is going to happen, and now 2 of the people that's going to be in this match just walked out. So now they're having to scramble. So now they're putting the emphasis and saying, okay, don't be mad at us because we didn't do it. They did it. We're going to put it on the talent.
Have they even mentioned the tag belts since then? Talking about going straight to the tag belts and like having tournaments. Have they even mentioned the tag belts since then?
They mentioned the tournament, but that's been it.
They said that last week, but they never mentioned it. They said that they never again mentioned it.
Honestly, for all I care, they could do away with them.
You think so?
I mean, there's not enough women to be able to support a tag team division on the main roster anyway. So
is there? Well,
but listen, Gerald, we have run out of time for this episode. We definitely appreciated you spending time with us here on the Manspace podcast.
Absolutely.
If you could tell the Manspace Nation how they can follow you.
All right. So real quick, you can follow me. All right. Listen real carefully. All right. It's going to confuse y'all. at Gerald Roberts. So the word at Gerald Roberts, right? ATGeraldRoberts. All right. Rewind it if you want to hear it again. All right. Follow that on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can follow the BGP app / SGP Radio on Instagram. BGP, what was it? I had to change it the other day. BGPLLC _app. Right? BGP app. Cop that. Cop the brand your person app.
Got it right here.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Cop that thing right there. You already know. That's the new version. I updated it. That's BGP app 2.0. I've spent the whole week revamping it. It's a whole new clean app. So that's the 2.0. Like a lot of blog stuff, a lot of the blog articles are gone. I'm working on getting it back, but it's a whole new fresh start right now. So stay tuned. Check it out one time. The BGP app version 2.0.
Who you down with? BGP.
You down with BGP, then you know me.
That's it. All right, take it easy, Joe. Be good, man. Appreciate you.
As we do each week, we like to close the show with a little bit of inspiration. Now, as each day passes, we get one day closer to the start of another football season. See, I like to see football as the great analogy of life. See, some stadiums have natural grass. Some stadiums have artificial turf. Some stadiums have temperature-controlled domes, while other stadiums end up with 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts and a wind chill of -20.
The Mile High Stadium.
Yes. See, each city is completely different, giving teams either an advantage or a disadvantage. But see, these teams are not a product of their environment. See, when the clock starts, it's still football. And see, it's the team that executes their game plan the best that gets the best chance to win each week. It's just like our lives. We're all born in very different places. And the minute we're born, that clock starts. See, where we're born can either give us an advantage or disadvantages. But it's our choices. It's our game plan that we have to execute that's going to give us a chance to be successful, give us a chance to win. So, Manspace Nation, I'd like to take the time and get you all to say, I am not a product of my environment.
I'm going to be the first one to say it. I am not a product of my environment.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, man. Hey, somebody bring me a certificate for a doctor over here. Somebody bring me a certificate. I got to get this man here. They're going to be Dr. Russ from going forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's the doctor of hood analogies.
That's it. That's it, boy. That's it. That's it right there. Hey, that's a T-shirt right there.
That's it. I'm doctor of hood analogies.
Oh, man.
God. Well, I'm trying to tell you, man.
And on that note,
we out of here. Oh. I see.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
whichever platform you listen to us on. Make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Manspace updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at ManspaceNat1.
Until next time, Manspace Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out
of here. Who you down with? BGP.
You know BGP, then you know me.